Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode. Today, I'd like to talk about the derivatives markets and their appearance in this cryptocurrency space in the form of Bitcoin futures. So, in my opinion, there is still a great many people who are entering the space buying cryptocurrencies for what I would consider to be the wrong reasons. And by that, I mean purely for profit. Now, sure, profitability is an often upside to holding and purchasing cryptocurrencies, but there is a much better and more important upside to holding cryptocurrencies, and that, my friends, is what this channel is all about. Getting back to why cryptocurrencies were created in the first place and how cryptocurrencies and their markets are not and should not be anything like the traditional financial markets that so many are already familiar with. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This cryptocurrency space is growing and gaining more exposure to those who have their noses deep in the traditional financial markets. And much like most smart people who are introduced to cryptocurrencies, they can see some potential. But let me be clear, they are not seeing the same kind of potential as we do. They see a new market where they think they can do their same old tricks and really take advantage of this new emerging market. We're seeing more and more companies trying to merge cryptocurrency with traditional financial markets. Literally, that is the goal of their company. There is one issue for these guys, and of course, I'll be explaining it as this video progresses. But first, I want to give a brief overview of the environment that ultimately helped inspire the creation of the first so far successful cryptocurrency, that is Bitcoin and all of its successors. Let's take a quick look at the derivatives market. For example, they are frickin' massive, and they account for reportedly trillions of dollars worth of debt. We are going to go into that concept of reportedly, but first, these derivatives markets are also involved with really shady third-party companies or investment banks who cover their losses using money printed out of thin air, of course. Case in point, the investment banks that were servicing derivatives in, let's say, 2006, 2007, 2008, do those years ring a bell? Companies like Morgan Stanley, like Citigroup, like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. These were all banks that were left holding the bag when they couldn't pass them on to anyone else, and were therefore left holding the bag when the whole housing market bubble collapsed. They took on losses that should have left them bankrupt, jobless, and broke. But instead of letting these companies suffer the repercussions of their terrible business practices and immoral actions, the US government decided to take their taxpayers' money, again, trillions of dollars worth of taxpayers' money, and perform what we all fondly know as now the big bank bailouts. While these bankers saw huge bonuses after all of this, like millions of dollars worth of bonuses, so many U.S. citizens were seeing their pensions disappear, their houses go away, and eventually this whole debacle affected countries around the world as they were involved in the U.S. markets in one way or another. It should have been a huge wake-up call, and perhaps it was. So let's be clear. For those of you who are worried about things like derivatives and those kind of markets seeping its reputation into this cryptocurrency space, there is a very distinct and important difference between the traditional financial markets and this beautiful world of cryptocurrencies. But first, I have to say this disclaimer that personally, I am not a fan of Bitcoin futures because they exist purely to let people speculate about the price of Bitcoin, because that's what they have right now. But and they're not about at all encouraging people to hold this asset on their own. It is pure speculation about the price, and it's not exactly encouraging people to feel that liberating feeling of what it is to transfer value in a purely peer-to-peer way on a digital platform without the permission of some bank to let you use your own money any way you want. But now they do exist, and so comes this reminder. The cryptocurrency space is still very much a free market. There is no company that exists in this space that is too big to fail. There is definitely no government that is going to come in and bail out any company that tries to pull the same tricks that those huge investment banks were involved with that mess in 2008. Specifically pertaining to Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency that has a public, permissionless, and open source blockchain. That's very important. Those are some 3 killer attributes to any blockchain: permissionless, public, and open source. That's a very fine foundation to start. That is what affords anyone the ability to take into account the exact status of that particular asset, whatever cryptocurrency it is, as long as it's that kind of blockchain I was just talking about. You can take a look at the network, at the blockchain, at the source code. You can take a look at the source code, everything that it is built on. You can run a node yourself. You can verify and analyze transactions on the blockchain. That is the kind of power that this whole cryptocurrency space gives you. You can analyze everything about it. You don't have to trust third parties to tell you everything's okay. Unlike, for example, the housing market crisis of 2007, 2008, when they were completely fabricated AAA rating loans being passed around that were in reality incredibly unsafe and not at all reliable, and were really just junk loans were being passed off as being AAA. With the cryptocurrency space, that really would be very, very difficult to do because it is all open source, permissionless, and public. There's no gatekeepers of information. We are all completely free to analyze it and come to our own conclusions and purchase it if we so choose. Also, talk about cherries on top. For any cryptocurrency that has a known set supply that cannot be changed, or it has a decreasing emission rate or a steady emission rate, again, that cannot be changed, it's all very transparent. Good thing about that is that no one can change that to fit their whims. If it is a properly decentralized network, it cannot be changed to service any one person or entity's whims to bail out any company that needs some help. The birth of Bitcoin and subsequent cryptocurrencies have afforded us a kind of transparency and autonomy for monetary tools, the likes of which have never been seen. Therefore, it is still very much okay and valid, certainly valid, to be excited over this cryptocurrency space, no matter what the price is. And that, my friends, is at the very heart of every video that I try and make for this channel. So if you guys are new and you enjoyed this video, I certainly appreciate it if you hit subscribe with the bell notification so you can be notified when more videos like this come out. And also, if you appreciated this video, leave a like, leave a comment down below if you have some thoughts you'd like to share. In the meantime, I will be coming to you again soon, so have a good one.